So a study came out recently stating that more liberal women are unhappy than conservative women. Now, that's not me talking. It's not your red pill out there talking. Because, if we say things about family, relationships, gender roles, it's only two genders, gender roles, things that should be what should be prioritized versus what really shouldn't be. They call us red pill, say we're misogynistic, hate women, this, that, and the third. But I try to come with logic because logic is what keeps the peace, not emotion, not irrationality, but logic. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch this here on Fox News. I know y'all don't like this, like a lot of you liberals like the Fox News, but hey, try to hear all sides of the story, right? I'm trying to get you to open your eyes and understand that even though you may not like a certain person or a certain network or a certain ideology, a lot of times they speak facts. A lot of times they tell you something that you need to hear. So it teaches you when they say don't kill a messenger, you know what I'm saying? Just listen to the message. This is one of those cases, but let's hit it.
Okay, so we have a new poll out that shows liberal women are the most unhappy, lonely,
Shocker.
and conservative women ages 18 to 40 are married at rates that are 20% percentage points higher than liberal women in the same age group.
Look at these numbers, you guys. So liberals are married at 31%. Moderate
hate how they just gloating. Ooh, man, I bet they just burn your britches.
It's at 37%. Conservatives, 51% of them are married. So
pay attention. You got conservative, liberal, moderate, and you see who's the least married, and you see who's the most married. And, my sisters be the first one to say, when I say sisters, I mean, black women in the whole, they'd be the first one to say, they're the least married, least respected. But again, it's because I would say because a lot of this stuff is out of order. And when things are out of order, you rarely get what you are supposed to get. But let's continue.
So some people saying with this study that might be an indication of why their happiness. So this study has been done for 20 years. It used to be, or more than that, I think it's more like 30 years. It used to be that liberal men were the most unhappy, and now things have switched, and liberal women are now the most unhappy. And so the question that people
this even compares men to women as well.
Yeah, it does. But we're looking at we're comparing moderate, liberal, and conservative women. Conservative women just markedly more happy.
I am not married. I'm conservative, but I'm still happy. But
she's working on
it. Yeah, we would like to be. But I will give a piece of advice to liberal women: dye your hair a normal color, shave your armpits. I think it'll help. You probably find
take up boxing. Get the cardio in.
I don't know. That might scare a guy.
Yeah, you don't want someone, that could whoop you at any time. That's the problem right now. Too much masculinity, too much trying to be a boss and run things and want partners and can't nobody tell me what to do and I don't need no man. It's too much of that. And those are mainly liberal women. And like I said, with the crazy hair and, instead of just looking like a female. But not all, some, not all, but some.
No,
but the hair part and the armpits.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Because they're all like, even what is it? Doug Emhoff's daughter. She's like all into I think she has like an oil to help.
Oh yeah, she was on. No, this is such a great story. She's on Instagram selling an oil for her armpit hair. No joke.
It's so gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
I think we went a little off topic, but that's okay. That's what Fox and Friends is about.
That's off topic.
Thanks for bringing up the armpit hair. I'm all down with that.
I have nothing to offer.
Yeah, you did. You said
Charlie's like,
you said it's terrifying. That was a great. That was a great comment.
Yeah,
said everything.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right.
So let's go to this. I want to read something real quick. This is from the New York Post, and it reads: "Liberal women are far more likely to feel lonely. Often, poll shows." And this was published on February 14th. of all days, Valentine's Day. It's amazing. It says liberal women are the least likely to report being fully satisfied with their lives and are far more likely to report feeling lonely often, according to analysis from a recently published poll. Now, these are the same women who will sit there and tell you they have so many degrees, they boss chicks, they got their own business selling shea butter and candles, don't need no man, are gonna date their whole life, and they'll decide when they want to get married. And but yet you're trying to control something that, and it's something you just can't control. You can't control the natural order of things. And that's the problem. A lot of conservative women, like I said, they're getting married. They understand the male female dynamics, the gender roles, who head of the household, who should, who puts the discipline, who puts the rules down. This, that, the nurturer, who the nurturer should be when it comes to the kids. There are roles out there. I'm sorry. I mean, now when I say roles, it doesn't necessarily mean that the man can't cook or clean or vacuum, wash clothes, iron. Don't mean he can't do that. Doesn't mean the woman can't get out in the yard and do some work. Don't mean that. The roles are about when it comes to making the decisions, making the rules of the house, discipline the children, how you raise the children. It's about who, when it comes down to it, who has a final say on things. That's what the gender roles are. Because I know women who were married and they get out there and mow the yard, and you be like, why you out there mowing the yard and you got a husband, or you got boys, and they'll be like, this is the exercise I get. It's safe. It's in the house. I sweat. I ain't going too far. If I pass out, at least I'm in the front yard or in the backyard. I like doing stuff in the yard. Okay, then I get. I could. I'll go with it. Can't get it, but I'll go with it. It says the 2024 American Family Survey reportedly found that 37% of conservative women and 28% of moderate women between the ages of 18 and 40 report being completely satisfied with their lives, with just 12% of liberal women in the same age group said the same. Liberal women are also nearly 3 times more likely than conservative women to say that they experience loneliness at least a few times a week. Again, you can go to school, get your degrees, and like I said, I have played a part in this, and I know a lot of us Black families have done this. We send our daughters to school, tell them to get their degree because we don't want them to depend on no man if something happened to where they get being in an abusive relationship. The problem with what we don't tell them is if you go to school, if you find a good guy, now this is if, because I mean, you got to go through relationships one of these days. But if you find a good guy, y'all on the same wave path, I say a good guy, I mean, just, he's a good dude, down to earth, humble, going to school, treat you right. Then, what I'm saying, you maybe try to see if you can build a relationship with that guy. You don't rush into it. You know what I'm saying? You don't jump into bed with them. You don't do all that kind of stuff, trying to mess around and play grown up, play married, and you're not married. You build a relationship with this person so you can see if it's needed. But to say, hey, you go to school, get your bachelor's, then you get your master's, then you get your doctorate, and then you go out there and find you a man. I mean, you ruining your chance of doing it. Like I said, we've done that and we've taught our daughters that, and that is wrong. That is not wrong, because human beings need human beings to make it, Liberal women were also nearly 3 times more nearly 3 times more likely than conservative women to say they experience loneliness in a few times a week. Brad Wilcox, a sociology professor at the University of Virginia and fellow at the Institute for Family Studies, who analyzed the survey's data, said he believes there are a couple of reasons why conservative young women are more likely to be happier than their liberal counterparts. Let's see what Mr. Wilcox said. We've seen in the research that conservative women tend to be more likely to embrace a sense of agency and to have the sense that they are not in any way the victim of larger structural realities or forces, he told Fox News Digital. They're also less likely to catastrophize about public events and concerns and more likely to think of themselves as captain of their own fate, Wilcox added. So let's go back to the victim of a larger structural realities. Racism is real. I believe that there have been systems in place to try to keep certain people down, or maybe just say keep certain people in their up in positions and not to give away any power. And unfortunately, we are not them people. So there, like I say, the systems are trying to keep us where we at, if not even lower. I believe that. Wholeheartedly believe that. But I'm also the type of person who's going to say there's got to be a way to work around that, to work in the system. No, may not become a billionaire, may not become a millionaire, but if I can work, go to work, pay my bills, build on some wealth, get some retirement, teach my kids how to do the same, teach them because about what do you call it? Investing and stock market and starting a business and things of that nature, savings accounts, paying off debt, not having debt. If I could teach them that young, because when I was growing up, it was more black folks just said stay away from banks. I'll stay away from stock market because you lose your money in there. Don't put your money, older black folks say don't put your money in banks because, you think about the Freedman Bank and all that. The history that we have in this country, in the system that we've been in to where we lose money. But the thing is, that scared a lot of us away from creating wealth for our family. So then by the time some of us get ready to get started to create this wealth, we're way behind. But that's okay because now we can teach our kids, we can still start even at a later age to try to build some wealth for ourselves and to show our children how to do it at an early age and get them doing it. Because they ain't got to be out there brash and bold and, and boasting about everything they got and everything they're getting. They don't need to do all that. All I need to do is, like I say, you get your job, put in your 401k, put in your IRA, mutual funds, this and the third, whether it be a few dollars, $100, $50, whatever. You put in something and you be consistent until you retire. In the meanwhile, in the meantime, while you're building that money, when you get ready to retire, look to go into somewhere else to make money. I know a couple of black families who have, when they retired, started businesses, started bakeries, doing something different than, doing something different to do something once they're retired, to keep busy, to keep moving, and to continue to make money. That's the way it's supposed, and that's what you're supposed to do. Seriously. I mean, in this country, that's what you're supposed to do. And it's something that a lot of us wasn't taught. A lot of us didn't learn, but now that we know it, we should tell everybody else and get started with ourselves. But yeah, it is the system trying to hold us back. But you got some people who continue to live off of that. It's like, it makes no sense that Spike Lee of all people, goes to an NBA All-Star game and talking about he won his 40 acres and a mule and the dude's worth $60 million. And the first thing I say is, that guy is not the guy to speak for us because this man got money. Because matter of fact, that guy got money. Now you might say, Marlon C., why y'all in that man's pockets? I'm going to tell you why. Because when you have enough to do, you should do something. Now, I don't know what he's done. He might have given money to HBCUs. I get it. That's more like a sitting back, throw out money and let somebody else do some type of thing, which I mean is better than nothing. I mean, I tell you about giving, like when they had GoFundMe's, like when school MSU, the marching band went to the inauguration, the Donald Trump inauguration. I gave money for that. It's other things, give money to HBCUs, a little bit here, every month. Do stuff like that. Give money to like local food banks. Do stuff like that. I get it, giving money. But when you got the money like that, from what I see and what I'm hearing and researching, it won't take long. It won't take a whole lot for someone like Spike Lee to start like a small, maybe like a Montessori school, a little small homeschooling for black folk. And in New York, where he's from, saying, hey, let's Let's get some of the families together. Cause I'm sure there's single moms in New York, just like everywhere else, and they got kids. How about some of them be at home certain times of the day? Say, how about you start a school, and you go through the grants and stuff like that. You get money. You can get money for homeschooling. But anyway, start your little homeschooling thing and get like a few kids in the neighborhood. You ain't got to be so big to where you try to do like LeBron James and the thing still fail. You can start small and teach these kids a lot, and they can teach, and then and then they can teach somebody, and they can teach somebody. Next thing you know, it expanded, and next in the next after a few years or some decades, it could be a statewide, nationwide thing. But you got to start somewhere. So, like I say, somebody like Spike Lee, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? But us regular people, yeah, that's who need to talk about the 40 acres and mule or the reparations, man. But yeah, like I say, they live on. He got money. He's still living on this whole racism holding us back thing. He's a bad example. LeBron James is a bad example. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the people that live in like Joplin, who grew up in Joplin years ago down there in Dallas. Out there, it's another little town outside of Wilmer Hutchins. God, I can't think of the name of that town. It's unincorporated. Bunch of poor people like that. You know what I'm saying? Black folks who losing farms, losing land, can't afford to stay in can't afford to stay in the house they grew up in because of inflation and taxes and property values going up. Those are the people that need to talk about reparations, not Spike Lee. And see, Wilcox also broke down the poll by the relationship status of the women's survey. According to his analysis, 40% of liberal women reported being single, while 31% said they were married. For conservative women, 33% reported being single, and 51% say they're being married. The remaining women on both sides of the political aisle reported being in a committed relationship or cohabitating with a partner. Wilcox told Fox News Digital that marriage and family are an enormous source of meaning and purpose for most people. So it's not surprising that conservative women who are more likely to be married will also feel more satisfied with their lives in general. Most conservative people, I believe, live on biblical values or believe it more than liberal. Because liberals are the ones who go for the LGBT, the transgender, the baby deletion. They all for that. Conservatives are not. So they're supposed to believe in the same God, the same religion, but they practice it differently. They believe in it differently. Not saying they all the same and they all perfect and nothing like that, but it's like I said, most women, most people, there's no such thing as a one size fits all for everybody. So you got to look at it that way. But like I said, most people need people. I'm sorry. Everybody should be in a relationship some way, somehow. Everybody should be in a relationship, whether you're married, whether you're boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't know, whether you're a mistress, concubine, I don't care. Everybody needs somebody to be around. There's no one in the world that can make things happen without somebody else. Period. You can't make it in life without other people. And the problem is that the other people that you kick it with are as miserable as you are, you will not get anywhere. You won't get nowhere. Your kids won't get nowhere. If you believe in these generational curses, everything, woe is me, trying to hold me down, everything is on racism. What have I done reaction videos of people who done robbed stores, wrote bad checks, and the first thing they holler is racism. You pull me over because of racism, because I'm black. Like, what? Okay, that quite possibly could be the reason. But in the meantime, were you stealing? Were you trying to defraud the bank? If so, trying to defraud the place you work for? If so, then who throw that racism out the window and let's talk about the crimes you just committed. But yeah, you need people. You need people who trying to do things, trying to build things, trying to become a better person. And not people who are always hollering about how bad the world is. Because I holler and say racism in a minute. I holler and say, I want my reparations check, and I'll be the first one in line. I'll be in line when they're passing them out. But I'm also the person who said, I don't went to school. You know what I'm saying? I done got a degree. I got a good career, make real good money, trying, paying off debt. Uh, got businesses I'm trying to build up, YouTube channel I'm trying to build up. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, I'm still trying to do things. I'm trying to make that money. Not sitting here hollering saying, "Oh my God, woe is me. I can't do anything because they won't let me." There are avenues to do it. You just got to find the right one. It said conservative women are also more likely to embrace the gender differences between men and women and prioritize family and attending religious services, he said, which also contributes to happiness. Amazing. I didn't read that, but now it just validate what I just said. The American Family Survey is an annual nationwide survey of 3,000 Americans. I always say who they be polling because no one ever comes talk to me. The 2024 poll was released in early February 2025 and conducted August 22nd through the 29th of 2024 by YouGov for Deseret News and the Center for the Study of Elections and Democracy at Brigham Young University. So I'm going to assume that most of this was Brigham Young University. They probably talk to more white people than anything. Or what are they Mormons or whatever you call Protestants or whatever at Brigham Young? Most likely. But this survey to me goes across all races because I can read this, I can look at this and see how Black people fit into this, and it's probably the same thing. It's probably like I say, it's probably the same. It probably get the same results, maybe even more on the liberal side of being unhappy. Because when you're not married, a lot of you not married. Y'all say the Black women are the last one to get married, so you're not married. Yeah, holler about racism, and you don't need nobody, don't need no man, and you wonder why, you're miserable. You got to have people. You got to have people. You got to have rules and regulations. There's an order for everything. It was spoke of in the scriptures and in probably other religious texts. That's just your best. It's your best bet, your best option into having like a fulfilled life. Life has nothing to do with, very little to do with happiness. Even the Bible tells you that. I mean, the Bible talks about marriage and being, duty. It's like the basic foundation of being married. Husband got a duty, wife got a duty, children have a duty. And you just fulfill that duty. And you fulfill that duty, happiness and contentment comes. When you try to lean on your own understanding and you wonder why you're not happy, you wonder why the world's against you, woe is me, you can't get nothing that you want or can't get what you need. Well, if you're out of order, I mean, there is no other way to go. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that in your future endeavors. Now, again, this is a poll. I'm gonna put the links in the description box. You can click on the links yourself and see the poll. Because don't take my word for it. I'm just saying, hey, it is what it is, and you just can't fight it. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple minutes out of your day, but it means the world to us here. If you would like to support us financially, you can get a super thanks, super chat, super stickers. You can go to the description box. There are a couple of links on there you can click on. Help support us there. You can also go to marlonmorales.com and you can hit that shop button below where we have products like perfumes, colognes, silks, what else? Handbags, beard products, and much more. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.